Also, your hot water heaters in your house,
Yeah.
you know, you can take just batt fiberglass insulation, put that around the hot water heater, and take this very material and wrap it. You won't believe what a difference that makes. You know, it's a big time thing right there.
Well, you bring it up so the air gets under the water heater.
Yeah.
When the hot water heater already has the insulation with the metal cover,
Mhm.
can you just wrap it around the metal cover?
What kind of cover is it?
Well, there's already insulation on the hot water tanks, and there's a metal cover on top.
Right,
Finish
but
it
you
off.
got to have something to give it a little bit of an airspace, and that's the reason I'm saying put the fiberglass around it, then cover it up.
Because you need that space.
Right, right.
Well, if it's got, but there is the tank. As I understand, there's a tank, it's insulated, and then it's got this, for looks cover, they're white.
The hard coating,
The
yeah.
housing.
Yeah.
Right.
The housing, so could you just wrap it around the housing because you got the
No.
space inside?
No.
it?
You need
No,
the space.
your own metal, you need the airspace.
Oh, I see,
Yeah.
okay.
So you put the fiberglass, or if you didn't want to put fiberglass, you know, take wooden strips, glue them to the thing, just wrap it around it, just something to keep it away from it, okay? But it's a big deal on the hot water heaters. It really is a big deal. Well, I talked to Phil about how we use it in the chicken houses, and this is a big time thing. I don't know how many of you guys are involved in the agricultural end of the business, but chickens, as they're growing, especially with all the high dollar protein food that they feed them, they're growing at a rate that's unbelievable, and they're very susceptible to temperature changes. And one of the things that I saw years ago, I was actually in Mexico doing some work down there, when they had storms that came through and it dropped the temperature. I mean, they had a big rainstorm and it dropped the temperature 25 or 30 degrees. This affects the chickens drastically, and they get pneumonia and then they die. Okay. In the States, you know, we just dispose of the chickens, you know, when they're dead like that, but not these guys. They take them on and, you know, use them anyway. But but what we would do is go through and wrap the chicken houses, you know, and they've got ventilations on the side, but we would just be contained, you know, with just the ceilings down to where the shades are. And you change the mortality of the chickens tremendously, and then you also help the food conversion. You know what they're really after, and it's true in any kind of agricultural deal. You want to get the most poundage for the food, and this is an excellent way to do it. Now that'll work in, you know, horse operations, you know, poultry operations, hog farms, you know, anything where animals need to be comfortable, because the animals are just like we are. The more comfortable they are, the better they're going to eat and grow and not be under stress, and so it is a big time thing for the
Controlled environment.
That's exactly right. A good control environment.
What's the widest you can buy this sheet?
We make it up to 102 inches wide.
Oh.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, right now, Derek carries the 4-foot stuff, and so we make it actually in 4, 6, 8, and 102 inches. And those sizes are made for our RV industry. Currently, we use this in little RV trailers, fifth wheels and travel trailers, and these walls are only 1.5 inches, and they're 1.5 by 1.5 inch wooden studs, and we put this on the outside, and then we fur it, and then we put metal siding, or they hang glass on it, and we have guys that are camping in the oil fields in South Dakota and North Dakota, and this is how they are surviving up there. Last year at our RVIA show in Louisville, Kentucky, I had some guys that found me and wanted to know what we were doing to these trailers, you know, to get this kind of results. And I asked them, I said, you know, why would you be so interested in all this? And the guy says, well, we're the guys that are doing the maintenance for these things, and we supply the propane. And we use about a fourth, well, they use about 3/4 less propane per unit, and they're not constantly replacing blower motors and heaters, because if you know in that kind of temperature, these are just small little heaters. You can't overcome this kind of temperature, so they're just constantly running all at the time. And some of these trailers with just fiberglass in the walls, and you've got a heat source like this on the inside, the walls will actually be like a piece of ice. And I mean, remember, it's only 1.5 inches. But now, by doing what we're talking about with the same very material, these guys are surviving. They're comfortable. They have 2 heaters in them. One's a backup, because I don't have to tell you guys how cold it gets up there. So it's been a big time thing.
Who distributes your product right now?
In Canada, it's Derek. Okay.
Now for those RVs on the 1.5 inch walls, is there actually any fiberglass on the inside of that foil or not?
About 1.5 inches.
They do have it.
Mm-hmm.